that you needed to do to get clear, or did you kind of feel like you were kind of been ready for a bit?
So we did some extra tests last week. Like looked at force plate jumps and power outputs, how my landing is, if I'm landing too much on the right or the left, and all that stuff was better than it was last year at this time. So there really wasn't much I could do left on that other field. For me, it's just now getting back in, integrating contact into my daily routine and getting used to it and building from where I've been.
When do you think you'd be able to take full practice reps?
I don't know what the plan is. Obviously, the trainers are watching close. The weight staff's watching close. They're just, evaluating me pretty much every day. I would be surprised if it lasted much longer, but just to start getting me going.
So your optimism for the opener, do you think you'll be out there?
Like I said, that's another thing that's not solely on myself. Obviously, as a competitor, yeah, I'd love to be out there week one. But I know myself, if I'm not ready to go or I don't feel like a full version of myself, then we can buy another week or another 2 weeks. But, games are ultra meaningful, whether they're early in the season or late in the season, so I'd love to be out there.
How tough has it been watching that group? Just down to one tight end there in the preseason game.
I feel for the guys, man. It's been a grind this offseason, but no matter who's been in there has done a great job. Obviously, it's been Armani kind of taking the weight of the thing the last 2 weeks, and he's done a really good job, especially a guy who hasn't played the position before up until OTAs and training camp, and super proud of him. But all the guys have done a really good job when they've been healthy.
For you, is there an emotional lift to getting this opportunity to get you a little pep in your step as you get closer?
Yeah, after a while, it's kind of the mental thing of it. You could feel yourself getting closer and closer to the finish line, but it's just like every day starts feeling like a monotonous grind. So to change it up and have something different is definitely a little boost.
Share what your recovery from something like this was, because it seems like a pretty extensive injury. What were your days like as you were working your way back?
Honestly, the first week to a month, you really couldn't really do anything except for try to stretch, trying to get some of the range of motion back, keep the swelling down. But as the weeks and months went on, everything just kind of turned into strengthening the quad, working on the balance, working on your core, just being able to handle taking some more of a load and being able to the joint be able to handle it. For me, it's just come in, do my work, but when it's time to rest and let it heal.
Then mentally, kind of, what is it like for you as you're going through that, having to watch from this, not the sidelines, but wherever? How do you get yourself through that?
I got a lot of good teammates, guys that always checked in on me, make sure I was doing all right. But most of all, my family and my support system, they made it a whole lot easier on me than they could have. And anything I needed, they took care of, especially my wife, my kids. And I'm just super thankful for them. Couldn't got to this point in the time that I have, especially without them.
When you mapped out your recovery, was around now when you thought you'd be back to practice, or did it take you by surprise at all?
I can't say thought, but it was my hope. All along, I've always said I wanted to play week one. Whether I'm on track for that at that time, it's come to find out. But I thought it would probably be after the third preseason game that I'd start working back, and obviously it's a week before.
And last night in the Giants game, Kayvon Thibodeau kind of took a hit similar to the one that you took. And I'm just wondering, that type of block, is that something that you think should still be in the game? Or what do you kind of think of the act of going low to try and block like that?
I think there's a act of going low, and then there's going too low. If you get somebody above the knee, the chances of them getting their leg trapped are a whole lot less than if you get them below the knee. If you get them below the knee, everything's just going to crumble. And same thing happened to him, happened to myself, happened to Tyree Jackson in Philly last year. It's a tough play. I think below the knee is kind of the cutoff point.
Is that something that players are just coached to go that low, or is that something that?
No, we're actually coached to stay above the knee. It's more effective that way. Obviously, chance for injury is a whole lot lower, and chance for injury of the person who's actually doing the cut block is lower too.
What was your reaction to your force plate numbers being higher this year than they were this time last year?
I was actually surprised, obviously expecting to be deficiencies on the left, but my power output was higher. I was favoring my left more than I was my right, which is the knee I injured. And so that kind of just told everybody it was time to roll. And I was surprised, but shoot, I'll take it.
And What's going to be the process of building that chemistry with the quarterback? Obviously, you've done it with a couple of different quarterbacks before, but how long does that usually take you when you get back out on the field?
We're all just kind of creatures of habit, and the more you get to do routes or whatever it is with them, they understand your body language, understand what you like, you understand what they like. It comes a lot quicker. So today I spent a lot of time during the special teams periods catching passes from Carson since I've never done it before. And it felt good, got on the same page, and the body communication was really good.
What stuck out about him specifically?
Yeah, the ball gets there a little bit quicker with a different timing. And one of the routes I've ran since I've gotten here, the ball just felt different when it got there. And so it's cool. It takes a little something for me to get adjusted to, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
Knowing the success he has with previous tight ends, is that something that makes this return even more exciting with how he connected with Ertz and Goddard in Philly and what you guys can maybe do together?
For me, it's nothing personal. It's all about the team game for me. I just want to do my job, let the team win, and if my stats are good and we're moving the ball because of that, great. But if I'm just run blocking and making the occasional third down catch when we need to move the chains and that type of stuff, great, because ultimately if we have more points on the board than the other team, we win, and that's all I'm worried about.
And you mentioned working with Carson, brand new quarterback. From an outside perspective looking in, how does the offense look?
It looks really good. We got talent in every position. We're tough, we're physical. Running the ball, we can be very good as well. Pass game, obviously, we got weapons everywhere. So for us, it's just about consistency. In the game this past weekend, you saw got off to a hot start, moved the ball, and then stalled out. The next possession, same thing, stalled out. And for us, it's just being able to sustain, keep the chains moving, and ultimately punch it in, score points, because we should be able to move the ball anytime we want.
Obviously, you want to get back on the field because you love playing this game, but is there any other sense of urgency for you to get back playing since there's no clear-cut, starter at the tight end position?
I personally believe I'm the starter, hands down, no matter what it is. John is after me, no questions asked there. But, I would love to be back, especially with the guys being injured. All of us trying to fight back at the same time. You get our room healthy, rolling, then it adds more to this offense.
Anyone else?
For the numbers, do you mind sharing what they were? Like that?
I couldn't tell off the top of my head. It's just I know, like last year, if I was landing more on my right leg. This year, I was landing more on my left leg. Say there's like a 10% discrepancy in between the two legs. I didn't want to be over 10%. Last year, I was at like 9.5. This year, I was at like 6.5. So stuff like that.
And what do you have to do to measure it? Do you jump on a box?
So there's a square on the ground that's split, so it measures your left side, right side, and then you just do your jump, and it can tell the force you put going down, force you put coming out, and then the force you land with. Yeah. Thank you.